Aw, animals.
Come people, let's throw rocks at these scallywags. A group of teens in England's northeast were caught on camera throwing rocks at seals until the terrified animals dived off a cliff to escape into the water. Posted by St. Mary's Seal Watch, 3 presumably spoiled teens moved a warning sign on St. Mary's Island Nature Reserve near Newcastle before approaching a seal and started throwing rocks at the poor animal. The seal got so scared that it dived off a cliff to escape into the water. Once it got away, the group began to throw rocks at more animals. While the abuse was happening, one teen filmed the whole thing on her phone, probably hoping this would capture some social media attention. St. Mary's Seal Watch shared the video of the inhumane act on their Facebook page and said it happened about 9 p.m. on June 9th, and they stressed that this is not to shame anyone in the video, but to highlight the problems the wildlife faces on the reserve. The Seal Watch group went on to explain that, without protection, St. Mary's Island Nature Reserve is not safe for the wildlife, but a place for a few spoiled, immature human beings to carry out their violent acts on innocent animals. St. Mary's Seal Watch also urged visitors to report anyone they see ignoring signs or similarly harassing the wildlife. Gotta treat them right and with respect. How about we hurl rocks at them to force them to jump? A 12-year-old female kangaroo in a zoo in southeastern China died after visitors had hurled rocks at her because of one thing: she wasn't jumping enough. According to Chinese media, the 12-year-old female kangaroo was not hopping enough to amuse visitors at the Fuzhou Zoo in March. So to make her hop, some made-in-China genius decided to hurl rocks at the kangaroo. And when zookeepers showed up to stop it, her left foot was already nearly severed. The zookeeper said he had tried to stop the crowd, but nobody in the crowd fessed up to having thrown any rocks. What? The kangaroo was later seen lying battered and hooked to an IV drip in its enclosure, and the poor thing later died due to internal bleeding. Veterinarians discovered after the autopsy that one of the stones had ruptured the animal's kidney. For unknown reasons, the zoo said they planned to stuff and display the dead kangaroo. This didn't stop these idiots from hurting the animals. A few weeks after the incident, a 5-year-old male kangaroo luckily survived an injury caused by the same thing. The Fuzhou zookeeper stressed that these actions are against the rights of the animal and somehow visitors just keep hurting them. The zoo now plans to install more security cameras, hoping to prevent anything like this from happening again. Faith in humanity is once again restored. A bird in India with its beak clamped shut by a plastic ring was fortunately rescued by Indian bird watchers who feared it would starve to death. Reported by the Times of India, the stork was rescued at around 9 a.m. on Wednesday in Basai wetland, a suburb of India's capital. Luckily, the bird was rescued by bird watchers and wildlife officials and was taken to a bird sanctuary for treatment. Surprisingly, the dehydrated bird was nibbling on a small fish and is in good condition, despite living without food for at least 7 days. Black-necked storks are classified as near threatened on the red list of threatened animals and are native to parts of India, Indonesia, and Sri Lanka. But only 50 to 60 of the birds are found in the wetlands region outside Delhi. When the photo of the stork with its beak shut by the plastic ring emerged on the internet this week, it immediately captured the attention of netizens around the world. Pankaj Gupta, a bird watcher and a member of the Delhi Bird Foundation, who was involved in the rescue mission, said the plastic ring could have come from a bottle or can and is likely to have slipped onto the bird's beak when it was hunting in the water and then got stuck there. The stork is currently being looked after by officials at the Sultanpur National Park and Bird Sanctuary. They will put it back into its natural habitat once it's deemed fit. The BBC reported that environmentalists in India want the Basai area to be protected and are hoping to build a factory there to deal with the recycling construction waste. Whale dead after chowing down on 80 plastic bags. News of a whale's death coming out of Thailand this week shows us the sad consequences of plastic waste. According to AFP, a male pilot whale was found struggling to stay alive in a canal in southern Thailand near the Malaysian border. A team of veterinary staff tried to help the wounded creature, but its condition got the best of him last Friday afternoon. An autopsy of the mammal revealed a gut-wrenching discovery. The AFP reports that officials found 80 plastic bags inside the whale's belly, weighing a combined 8 kilograms. Those chunks of plastic were likely consumed by the whale, which probably thought they were squid or other fish. A marine biologist told the AFP it's a huge problem, explaining that 300 marine animals die in Thailand each year after eating plastic. That number not only applies to pilot whales, but also sea turtles and dolphins. According to nonprofit organization Sea Turtle Conservancy, over 100 marine animals are killed annually due to plastic debris in the ocean. The Conservancy says that there's 100 million tons of plastic in the world's oceans. Sadly, these numbers are probably only going to get higher. Where are Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Donatello? Florida's animal agency is looking for answers after a poor tortoise was found earlier this week near Orlando, completely covered in what appears to be red spray paint. According to Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, 2 people picked up a gopher tortoise on Country Road 455 in the town of Montverde, about 30 miles west of Orlando. The pair then took the tortoise to a wildlife rehabber called Swamp Girls Adventures. The group took the tortoise in and named it Raphael after one of the ninja tortoises, or turtles. Whatever. The group said they were able to get the tortoise about 70% cleaned up after gently chipping away concrete and attempting to get the red paint off. According to FWCC, if toxins from the paint are absorbed, it can damage the tortoise's organs. The paint itself can also prevent it from getting nutrients from sunlight and damagingly seal the tortoise's skin. If the tortoise breathes the paint in, it can cause respiratory illness. Kim Titterington, who runs Swamp Girl Adventures, told Fox 35 that the group hopes to help the tortoise recover completely and release him back into nature. Titterington also said she believes that wasn't an accident where the tortoise simply got too close to a painting site. Someone intentionally colored him red. FWCC is appealing to the public to contact them with any information on how the tortoise ended up this way. Human's best friend to the rescue. A family dog in Australia has proved again why dogs are a human's best friend when he's stuck by a toddler who got lost in the bushland overnight. Reported by Australia's ABC News, 3-year-old Aurora was reported missing at around 3 p.m. on Friday after she wandered off from her home in Cherry Gully. A search team made up with emergency service workers and local volunteers went out to look for Aurora and resumed the search at early Saturday. Luckily, Max, a 17-year-old blue heeler who is deaf and partially blind, followed Aurora and stayed by her side as she slept outdoors while temperatures dropped to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. It was Liza Bennett, Aurora's mother, who faintly heard her responding after she shouted out to her granddaughter while searching on Saturday morning. Fortunately, the elderly Max led Liza and police to Aurora, who only suffered small cuts and scratches. Queensland police were so impressed with Max's loyalty they have made him an honorary police dog. You go, Max. That bear certainly doesn't want a selfie. Warning, the following video contains content that viewers may find upsetting. A man in eastern India decided to take a selfie with a bear one day. However, that decision cost him his life. According to India's Indian Express, Prabhu Batara had stopped to go to the bathroom on the way home from a wedding when he saw the bear and just had the sudden urge to take a selfie with it. Here are some photos of what happened. Yeah, that's not a good selfie. Villagers at the site reportedly threw rocks at the bear hoping to rescue Batara, but that really didn't help much. Poor Batara struggled for 2 hours and unfortunately didn't survive the ordeal. Forest officials eventually made it to his side and tranquilized the bear, later recovering Batara's body.